Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life, and today's video is going to be food. Lots of food. So I'm starting off in the kitchen here today.
Hello, guys.
Joe is coloring off in the background there. I'm starting off today making pizza burgers. It's something I have not made in a while, and I was I'd gone out to my freezer where I keep, like, you know, my store-bought breads and roll buns and things like that, and I saw that I had some English muffins. I thought that would be perfect. So Warren actually was in town today. I called him up. I said, you know, could you pick up a couple of ingredients for me? So he picked up a couple things for me, and now we're all ready for supper. So, oh, that's dark. Okay, I don't even have the lights turned on. I'm feeling very kind of fall and cozy here today, even though it's sunny and just a beautiful day. But anyway, so I have 2 pounds of, it's not ground beef, ground venison. This was, look at this, 11/16. This must have been from a bow killed deer from last year. I keep saying to you guys, I have one more pack of venison, and it's like I just keep finding just one more. So I found this one, and then I think there is one more that I found next to this one downstairs. So anyway, getting these used up because, well, Warren and Peter are out hunting right now, so maybe they'll get something. Anyway, I'm going to cut up an onion. It's not a huge onion. Really burning through the onions from my garden this year. Last year I planted so many, and this year I thought I'm just going to go a little bit easier, and I should have planted a lot because as far as yellow onions, I don't have a ton left. I mean, maybe like a dozen or something like that, and I can go through those pretty quick. I have a lot of red onions. For pizza burgers, I just need to brown up a couple of pounds of meat with really 1 to 3 onions, depending on how much onion you have, how much onion you like, and how much you'd like to bulk up your meat. I haven't said that in a long time, but if you are, you know, on a very tight budget, and you're really trying to pinch your pennies, throw in to your meat a lot of onion. That does help to bulk it up. I've heard other people say that, like, their grandmothers would sometimes put a little rice in with the meat. That helps to bulk it up. Anyway, it's just a good practice. Okay, let's add this to the venison.
What? Some pizza burgers.
We are going to have pizza burgers.
Are having supper.
Mm-hmm. You found it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let me see. Perfect. That's just what I wanted. Just what I wanted. Thank you. We got some more cheese, so I'm going to get some mozzarella and some cheddar cheese shredded.
And
it's 100% okay to use already shredded cheese. It's fast, it's convenient. It's not quite as melty as a block of cheese. I go in spurts. Sometimes I'm like, I just am going to buy shredded cheese, and then other times I decide I want to use the regular block cheese and shred it myself, just because it doesn't have any of the added cellulose. I also find that it just melts a lot nicer. This is a full 8 ounces of mozzarella. I'm only going to do half of this for the cheddar. This recipe is in cookbook number 1, Pizza Burgers. I'm not sure the page. This is a recipe that I just have memorized. I always encourage people who are either trying to save time, or you just want to perfect some things in your kitchen. Work on memorizing some recipes for the things that you love. It is so nice to be able to get into the kitchen. It's a busy night, and you don't have to look up the recipe or go search through 17 beef stroganoff recipes. 17, probably 1,700 beef stroganoff recipes at Pinterest. It's just so nice to have some, like, I say, like, at least 5 recipes just memorized, so that you can just make it at a moment's notice without digging out a cookbook or just spending a lot of time, you know, researching. I'm currently out of oregano, but I do have the Pertesi pizza seasoning, so that's actually what I'm going to be using. in place. Normally, what I do now is use some straight oregano and then Portesi pizza seasoning as well. But like, oh, I just lost a piece of meat. But I'm out of oregano. It is really time to do a big grocery shopping trip. As soon as this meal is finished and eaten, I will be sharing with you today's sponsor, which is Thrive Market. So that'll be in a couple minutes. I also have some garlic powder I'm going to add, as well as salt and pepper. Oh, my camera has gone dark for some reason. As soon as the meat is browned all the way through, I'll turn off the heat, just cool it for a little bit before adding in the tomato soup, condensed tomato soup. So I won't be using my home canned tomato soup for this. I haven't ever tried that, but I think that would just be too liquidy. You wouldn't get the right thickness. But I'll be using condensed tomato soup and cheese. And if you're really adventurous and you like black olives, you can always put sliced black olives in here. Well, I mean, it's pizza burgers. You could do mushrooms, really, whatever you like. But we like to keep it pretty simple. So in my cookbook, it says 1 pound of ground beef or ground venison is what I always use, and 1 can of tomato soup. Now, this time I have 2 pounds. And 1 can of tomato soup could be enough if you don't want it real saucy. Or I probably am going to add the other can here, because by the time I add all that cheese, I am going to want a little bit of sauciness to it too. Just the really nice thing about this is that it's very versatile and you can really change it up. Sometimes I have a little bit more onion. Sometimes I have more meat and cheese, but less tomato. Sometimes I have more tomato and less cheese. It's just so easy to just kind of use whatever it is that you have available. At this point, I'm just going to let this cool. So you can see I moved it out of my cast iron pan into just a bowl here. That also helps it cool a little bit. And then I put the tomato soup in. That helps it cool a little. And then I'm just going to come by and stir this a couple times over the next, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. Actually, I'm not in a hurry because, like I said, the guys are hunting. So I'll probably just let it sit like this. Put the cheese in when I see them drive up, and then I can get these onto the English muffins. I'll split the English muffins right now. Here's what's left of our pizza burgers. I didn't think 12 would be enough, so I made 15, and look, we've got 3 left. So anyway, pizza burgers, just always a winner for supper. And then we just had that with some leftover macaroni and cheese and a little kielbasa that we had for lunch. And then we just had it with a bunch of home canned things, some cranapple sauce, some pickles, and some cranberry sauce. And that was supper here tonight. So at this time, we're going to take a moment to look at today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Thrive Market. If this is the first time hearing about Thrive Market, they are an online grocery store, not just food items. They do natural and organic health and beauty, cleaning products, non-perishables. So this here box of groceries I ordered, and I ended up saving about $47 on this order. And that's based on if I were to buy these items at a grocery store. I'm going to run through it really quick for you guys. Real Thin Mary's Organic Crackers, sea salt tortilla chips, sea salt kettle chips. I'm so excited to try these Who's, these chocolate covered cashews. It does say to Google it. I haven't yet, but it says what gives most chocolate treats the shiny glaze is a chemically treated insect goo. Okay, somebody look that up for me and let me know in the comments what that's all about. But I'm super excited to try these. Movie theater popcorn, vodka sauce. Thrive also has their own brand, Thrive Market. This is organic superfruit blend, fruit spread, sweetened with only fruit juice. Another Mary's product, these are the everything crackers. So good. I don't want to talk with my mouth full, but these would be delicious with a cheese ball. For my fruit snack loving family. Oh my goodness. I don't like mango anything, and this has mango in it. and it's good. For my Pop-Tart loving family, oh no, I was straightening the bag and I just ripped the bottom off of it. Okay, well now I get to try it. This is mini popcorn. Yeah, look at these little tiny kernels of popcorn. They're so cute. Oh yeah, that's tasty, but I love popcorn. Maria, you want some popcorn? I accidentally ripped the bottom off the bag.
Oh my goodness, they're so small.
Aren't they tiny? So cute. Okay, so this is a sea salt mini popcorn. So one of the things that I noticed right away with Thrive Market, I can find different things to change it up at home, because I tend to shop my local grocery stores and they tend to stock the same products over and over again. So sometimes the variety is lacking, and that's why I do enjoy doing something like online grocery ordering, because I can find some different items. Thrive Market is a subscription-based grocery store, and it is $59.95 for the year. That comes out to $5 a month. Otherwise, you can pay $12 a month if you want to just give it a try. And the last item was my free gift. So anytime you order $49 or more, you get free shipping as well as a couple options for a free gift. So I chose the chomps because, of course, everybody in the family always loves meat. If you want to fill up your own box of Thrive Market goods, head on over to thrivemarket.com/acountrylife, and that will get you 30% off your first box of groceries plus a free gift. You'll want to be sure to use my link, which is in the description box below, for the best deals. All right, at this point I have those chocolate chip blondies in the oven. So I decided to use that jar of vodka sauce. And what I did is I just put maybe 2/3 of this box, which this is a 1-pound box of rotini. I put about 2/3 of that in. Here I poured the vodka sauce over top, and then I just used some water to rinse the jar and just cover the pasta. I think that that is going to be about the right amount of liquid for baking pasta. I now have my cast iron turned on, and I have some ground beef here. I'm going to chop up an onion and put the onion and the ground beef in the frying pan, brown that up, and then add that to the vodka sauce. Okay, I just pulled this out of the oven and took the foil off. I had it in the oven for 30 minutes. I tried a rotini, it was just right. I just now put some cheese on it. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. And I'm gonna put it back in the oven just until the cheese melts. And then I'm going to probably just put a little bit, just a little sprinkling of a light garlic salt on top. Good morning. I am getting ready for tonight's supper right now. It's 5 after 8 and I have a 4-pound venison roast here and a can of cream of mushroom soup and some minced onion, and I'm also going to get out some beef bouillon, either cubes or powder, whatever I have in the pantry. I'm going to get that into my crock pot, set that to low, and let that go until about 5:30 tonight. Okay, well it is about 20 to 5 now, and I just peeled 5 pounds of potatoes. I have those in my pot here. I'm just bringing them to a boil. I'll mash those, but I'm going to be putting together mashed potato casserole. So I just want to show you the recipe. I did not start with Yukon Golds because right now Quick Trip has russets for 99 cents for 5 pounds. I am going to get out my cream cheese and butter. I have half and half. Salt, onion salt, seasoned salt, and pepper. I'll get all of those things out so that, like, I want my butter half and half and cream cheese to come to room temperature. I'm going to get all of this, get my potatoes all boiled up, mash it with all of those delicious ingredients. I don't always put it in the oven. Depending on, how much time we have until it's going to be supper time. This is a great recipe for freezing mashed potatoes. I know I have a video, it's probably 3 or 4 years old or something like that, where I make a whole bunch of mashed potatoes like this. I freeze them in like flat Ziploc bags, and when I thaw them, I just kind of thaw it just enough to plop it into a crock pot. Once it's like all the way soft, you just stir and stir and stir and stir. It whips them right back up, and they're just delicious that way. So it is a good way to freeze mashed potatoes as well. My roast is really coming along nicely. All right, the hunters are in, so I'm not going to put this into the oven to bake for 30 minutes, which makes it just delicious too, but I'm not going to do that. So we're going to have mashed potatoes here tonight, and it's time for supper right now. Well, good morning, everybody. This morning I'm going to try out something brand new. It's called Pumpkin Spice Steel Cut Oatmeal from this cookbook, and this was sent to me by a subscriber, so thank you very much. This is the second recipe I'm trying out of here. The first one was Instant Pot taco meat, which was really good. So I have 2 tablespoons of butter in my Instant Pot, or my electric pressure cooker. And I just melted that, and now I have to put in 1.5 cups of steel cut oats. And I'm going to just stir this around for 5 minutes until the oats become fragrant. All right, at this point I'm going to put in the water, 4.5 cups. I'm going to put in 1 cup of pumpkin, that's like half a can. 1/4 cup of syrup, maple syrup, and then 3/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, as well as kosher salt. I'm going to give this a stir and make sure that all of the oats are submerged in the liquid. Just stirring to make sure that the pumpkin gets stirred all the way around. We're going to cancel off the saute mode. We're going to choose the porridge setting and then set it for 12 minutes. But they also say that you should change the pressure level to high. Okay, so 12 minutes. high pressure porridge setting. It's going to take about 10 minutes to come up to pressure, and then it will do its, it'll pressure cook for 12 minutes. And then we're just going to let it do a natural release for 10 minutes. So here is the finished steel cut pumpkin spice oats. It was a little more liquidy than what I thought. It said to stir until any extra liquid was absorbed, and I guess I normally make my oatmeal thicker than this, although it is getting a little thicker, I guess, as it kind of sits here. So we'll see. We're not serving it with butter or more maple syrup right now, just the pecans on top. We're gonna give it a try, see how that is. Really good. Really just Warren and I ate it. The kids looked at it and said, I don't really like the way it looks, which I'm kind of surprised because it's very good. It's not overly sweet, so like the recommendation of serving it with some maple syrup, that probably would be delicious. We didn't. We just ate it just the way it came out of the Instant Pot, and it gradually did continue to thicken up. So if you do make it, just know that it will continue to thicken up and absorb more of that liquid. We put the pecans on top, and that was very good. I think I would like the pecans to be toasted, but that's just another step, and I didn't do it. We had it with the bacon. That was kind of a nice, little bit of sweet, a little bit of salt. It was good. Good morning, Joe.
I said hello.
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 Well, it's going to be time for us to brush teeth and head off to the library.
Pan it, Megan. See ya, guys.
All right, tonight's supper is going to be salmon, and I made a marinade. It was from my cousin, but from Pinterest. So I'll just put a link to that in the description box below. And it recommended to make like to make a tinfoil tray and to do this on the grill. I'm going to do it on the Blackstone, but I'm still going to do it on this little tray. I don't know if I need to or not, but I'm going to. And so I'm going to go get the Blackstone turned on. And then I also have some venison roast. I have it on warm, and I have a little of that with some gravy left. So I'm also going to warm up the mashed potatoes that are left from last night, as well as make some yellow rice. And I have some cauliflower left from the other night. And we will have yet again applesauce and cranberry sauce and pickles, because it seems like every meal, if I don't put those three things out, someone's like, oh, do we have any cranberry sauce? Oh, where are the pickles, Mom? So we'll put those things out yet again. Okay, salmon is done. Kind of fell apart, but it is delicious. This is a delicious marinade. Definitely want to make this. The kids were actually eating all of like the little bits that stuck onto the skin here right out at the Blackstone when they came back from hunting. I see a little piece they missed over here. I probably should have sprayed these foils. Maybe the skin wouldn't have stuck on it quite so bad, which I don't know. That was good and bad that it stuck, because then what I did is I flipped this whole thing over onto the Blackstone to get this side done, like the top side. And then what happened is it kind of peeled off, mainly peeled off, a little bit, stuck in a few places still to the fish that I had to peel off, but it actually worked out pretty well. Ooh, we got a little bit there we have to pick. You guys see that? That's missed. Everybody is absolutely loving this. This is so good. And in full confession mode, when I was making the marinade, I was like, oh, I don't have any lemon juice. And it was kind of thought that maybe I would wait, but I just put a tiny splash of lime in it, and it's fine.
Perfect.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And here's how the plates are looking tonight.
The salmon's very good.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, I have just the light over my counter on tonight, classical music going. I had a candle going, but Joe has blown it out already. And I am making burgers here for supper tonight. So this is beef tonight. And because you guys know, we bought half of a steer. So I'm just quick. This just makes such easy work, I think. I know it's another little contraption in the kitchen, but now that I am onto it for years and years, I just love making burgers with my burger press. So I just put one paper down. This is a 1.5 pound tube of ground beef. And so, does that smell good? And so I just cut it into 6, just kind of evenly cut it into 6, and I can make 1/4 pound patties. I am using an amazing burger seasoning. This is from Aldi. Let me see if I can get it in the light better there for you guys. This is a seasoning from Aldi. There's so many good burger seasonings out there. Really just any of them. I've gotten them from Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Aldi. I've gotten some fancier ones from Penzeys Spice. Really, I mean, there's just so many out there. I do like the ones that have a little bit of a smoky flavor, like this one. Just good flavoring. All right, so super easy. And then I always just pull this one off. I use this paper as the next bottom. Plop my meat. Put a whole bunch of seasoning. You need a lot of seasoning. Put another paper on top. Press. And when your meat is nice and thawed, it works so well. And there it is. Another one done. Pile it up. Put this one in place, and I'll do that for 2 tubes. So I'll make 12 burgers tonight. So sometimes I completely forget that I'm even filming. So burgers are all done. Warren did the burgers on the Blackstone, and that is how they turned out. They were absolutely delicious. And then I did nothing like showing you the food when it's already been like served up and everything. But anyway, I just made fried mashed potatoes. So I just took the mashed potatoes from a couple nights ago, put a little butter in my cast iron, and then you kind of like mash them down in there and let them cook on medium for at least 10 minutes until they get like nice and kind of crunchy brown. Oh boy, we got sneezers in the background here. Until they get crunchy, and then I flip them. And anyway, that's what we served supper tonight, along with, again, pickles and applesauce. Good morning. I am making some muffins right now. I got to talking and put the wrong ingredients in, so I now have the start of zucchini chocolate chip muffins in this bowl, but I can't get to that right now because I don't have any zucchini just ready to go. I'd have to either shred a zucchini or get one out of the freezer. Anyway, and what I wanted to make was pumpkin chocolate chip muffins, because I always double the recipe, but I can't today because I have a half can of pumpkin left, and I thought that would be the perfect thing to make here on this very fall-like, it's about 35 degrees here this morning at 8:30, so just a very fall-like day. Looks very gray out there. Although the weather stick is pointing upward, that must mean that some good weather is still on our way. All right, so in my bowl here, I have 1½ cups of flour, as well as 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. And now I'm going to get in the baking soda, the salt, cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. And now into the bowl of my KitchenAid, I'm putting in 1/2 stick of butter, 3/4 cup of honey, 1 egg, and the 1 cup of pumpkin. If you spray your measuring cup before putting in honey or maple syrup, you know, things like that, it'll pour out a lot easier. With muffins, unless a recipe states to mix very hard, you want to just barely mix the dry ingredients in. At the end, I do like to kind of fold it in a little bit, just making sure that everything from the bottom has gotten stirred in. And now I need to put in about 1 cup of chocolate chips. And just fold those in. That's another reason why when you're making muffins with mix-ins, you don't want to mix the initial batter all the way to completion, because you know you're going to be gently folding in some other ingredients too, and it's going to get some more mixing. Now this is only going to make 12 since I didn't have a whole can of pumpkin to double the recipe. That's okay. I just wanted to use up that pumpkin. goodness gracious. Well, that isn't working at all. I don't know what just happened there. All right, there we go. Put that one back in there. Since using this giant scoop, I can get everything much more even, and I actually have some batter left. So I'm going to make up some more. Maybe it's only going to be 2.
What you making?
Pumpkin chocolate chip muffins.
Oh, yummy. Can I have a little dough?
In a second here, when it's time to clean up.
I have it.
As soon as the oven preheats to 350, I'll put these in the oven for about 20 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. If you're making just general muffin recipes out of really any cookbook, you'll see that so many muffin recipes want you to bake them for like 25 minutes, sometimes like 30 minutes. In my experience, I found that is way too long. Normally, it's about 17, 18 to 20 maybe is kind of the tops. Always check, and don't take this as like the gospel truth, but I have just found it to almost always be a little too long, at least for our liking. All right, these were in for 19.5 minutes, and look at how pretty and rounded those muffin tops are. And that is what you get when you don't overbeat your muffins. If you've ever taken muffins out of the oven and they almost come like to a little mountaintop, a little peak, that's because they were overmixed. I mean, they're still going to eat. Everybody's still going to eat them. At least in my house, they'll still eat them. But they do look awfully pretty when the tops are perfectly rounded. All right, we're gonna let those cool. I'm gonna make some eggs when Warren comes in from hunting, and we are going to have just a simple little egg and pumpkin chocolate chip muffin breakfast here this morning. Be sure to check out the Thrive Market link. That'll be the first link in the description box below to start filling your box and getting 30% off of your first box. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll be back soon with another cooking video because tonight I already have plans to try a new recipe.